Hey, it's Mr. Estrada here, and our learning target for this video is I can multiply variables with exponents. So let's get to it. We've been through this before. Here's a little warm-up. This is just going to be a little bit of a review. It says multiply x to the third and x to the 5. So generally, what you want to do when you're multiplying variables with exponents is you just want to keep the base and add the exponents. So what's the base? The base, in this case, is the variable x. X is the base. And they both have the same base, so that means you can multiply them. So you can only multiply variables that are alike. Okay, you can only multiply exponents if they have the same base. What's the exponent? Well, the exponent is that little number there that you see that the base is being raised to. So it says keep the base, add the exponent. So x to the third multiplied by x to the fifth is just going to be x to the 3 plus 5, which is just x to the 8th. Okay, let's try something more challenging. Here it says fully simplify. So how do we do this? It's pretty much the same concept as what we just did. So we're going to, let me just write out some steps here for you. We're going to multiply the coefficients first, then we're going to multiply the common bases by adding the exponents. So let's go ahead and multiply the coefficients. So that's going to be 11 times 16. So the coefficients is 11 multiplied by 16. So what's 11 multiplied by 16? That's 176. So the 11 times 16, that gives us 176. Now we have to multiply the common bases. So we got to multiply y to the fifth by the common base, so that's by y to the third. And we're going to multiply x squared. There's nothing that you have to multiply by, so it's just going to stay as x squared. So let's go ahead and just multiply the common bases then. Y to the fifth times y to the third is equal to y to the 8th. So we're going to get 176 y to the 8th. And then we have the x squared. There's nothing to multiply it by, so we just bring it down. So we get 176 y to the 8th x squared. Let's just write it in alphabetical order because that's usually how it's done. So we get 176 x squared y to the 8th. That's our final answer. So when you are multiplying these, you just want to multiply the coefficients, then you want to multiply the common bases. Let's try one more. Fully simplify here. So what you see here is what this is really saying, right? This is saying that let's multiply negative 2x squared y to the third by itself 3 times. So you can actually write it out like this if you wish, and then, just multiply it 3 times. Or you can use a shortcut I'm going to give you. What you want to do is raise the coefficient to the power first. So we're going to raise negative 2 to the third power. And that's going to give us what? Negative 8, correct? So that's going to give us negative 8. That's because you're doing negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2. So you get negative 8. Then the next step is to raise the bases to the power. So we're going to do x squared raised to the third power. And we're going to do y to the third raised to the third power. And it says multiply the exponents. So x to the third raised to the third power, that's going to give us, let me erase this here a second so I can just write. That's going to give us x to the 6th. So when you raise a power to a power, you multiply the exponents, not add like before. And we also have to do y to the third raised to the third. That's going to give us y to the ninth. So we get negative 8, x to the sixth, y to the ninth. That's our final answer. If you want to think about why this is, why do you multiply? Why do you multiply the exponents? Well, think about it, right? X squared to the third power is x squared times x squared times x squared. So if you were to add the exponents, you would get x to the sixth. Same thing here, right? Y to the third power is y to the third times y to the third times y to the third. And if you add the exponents, you get y to the ninth. So the shortcut, whenever you're raising a base to a base with a, whenever you're raising a base to a power and then you're raising that to another power, just multiply the exponents. That's the shortcut. All right? Let's try one more. Okay, so here it says simplify 3x squared, y squared, and then raise that to the third power. So 3 raised to the third power is 27. X squared raised to the third power is x to the sixth. Y squared raised to the third power is y to the sixth. That's our final answer. All right, I hope this video helps. Take care.